You wake up one morning, the weight of the world pressing down on your chest. You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror. Who stares back? A shadow, a ghost of who you used to be. Every day feels like a performance, a dance of compliance and expectation. You replay the same agonizing scenes, the desperate texts, the hollow laughter, the begging for approval that's never enough. Betrayal isn't just a wound inflicted by others. It's the betrayal of your own soul, your own essence. You've become a caricature of yourself, donning masks to appease those around you. In the quiet moments, you wonder, am I enough? But deep down, you hear the painful truth echo. You never asked. This is your life. A relentless cycle of emotional overavailability, a desperate need to please. And yet, somewhere deep within, you're losing something sacred. The irony? You thought that being everything to everyone would bring you connection. Instead, it's the very act of giving yourself away that leaves you hollow. Picture this. Someone asks for a favor, and you feel that familiar pit in your stomach. You hesitate. No, you can't say no. What if they reject you? What if they pull away? So, you say yes. And with every syllable that escapes your lips, you betray your own longing. It's seductive, the temporary relief of approval, but it's a cheat. It's a mirage. You believe you're building bridges, but really, you're constructing walls around your own spirit. Real connection doesn't come from being available at everyone's beck and call. It emerges when you have the audacity to say no. You want to be seen, but how can you be seen when you hide behind the smiles, the nods, the compliance? You've created a fragile world, a veneer of safety, but beneath, chaos. You overextend yourself to ensure others don't feel discomfort. You sacrifice your energy, your essence, your truth. But this so-called safety, it's a paradox. Your soul crumbles beneath the weight of their expectations. As Jung once said, individuation is the process by which a person becomes a psychological individual. That is, a separate, indivisible unity, or whole. You are not just a shadow of your desires, a husk of your needs. You are a universe waiting to be explored. But your fear of rejection blinds you, keeps you locked in a cage of emotional bankruptcy. You've abandoned yourself for a fleeting sense of acceptance, and in doing so, you've suffocated your spirit. You feel it, don't you? The sting of self-betrayal, the suffocating air of compliance. It's time to shed those chains. You think you're in control. By staying available, by molding yourself to fit every expectation, you believe you're crafting your narrative. But in reality, you're losing the very essence of who you are. You've become a marionette, dancing on strings manipulated by others' perceptions. True power doesn't lie in the hands of others. It resides within you. The moment you realize this, a seismic shift occurs. Boundaries become not a prison, but a sanctuary, a sacred space where your spirit can breathe. You've never needed to control how others perceive you. You needed to reclaim your own perception of self. What if you could stand tall in your truth, unapologetic and fierce? What if the mere act of saying no could set you free? Now envision this. You're standing at a precipice, on the edge of your own existence. A ritual, the act of cutting cords. With each snip, you sever ties that drain your essence. You don't need more healing. You need to stop lying about who you are. You need to confront the fragments of your soul you've cast away in exchange for the fleeting approval of others. As you stand alone in your truth, you feel the weight lift. Each boundary set, it's a celebration of life reclaimed. You were never free because you never set boundaries. Feel of that moment. The first time you say no, and welcome the relief washing over you like fresh rain on parched earth. Or the deep breath after cutting the emotional cord, a solid, unshakable foundation emerging from the rubble of self-abandonment. The quiet of a morning, standing alone. This is your peace, unfiltered, unadulterated. Don't keep this. Don't hoard the truth that stings yet liberates. Send it to the person still handing away their power to everyone but themselves. This isn't just your journey. This is a call to arms. Your authenticity is your birthright. Don't let it slip through your fingers again. In the dimly lit corners of your heart, where shadows linger, is where the truth begins to unfurl. Every moment of compliance has chipped away at your spirit, leaving you with an ache that echoes. Can you feel it? This is not merely fatigue. It's a profound disconnection from your own being, a distortion of your very essence. Look around. Notice the faces that surround you, the voices that drown out your own. Each smile you've plastered on, each laugh that feels forced. It's a mask, a shield against the fear of rejection. You've become so adept at pleasing others that your own desires are but whispers drowned out by the cacophony of expectation. In this theater of life, it's time to step off the stage and into the spotlight of your own truth. The fear of losing love, of being abandoned, has shackled you like a ball and chain. You've convinced yourself that the only way to maintain connection is through constant availability. If you're not there to catch them, surely they will fall. But what if their fall is not your responsibility? What if your presence does not equate to your worth? The truth, raw and unfiltered, is that you can be loved for simply being you, not the version that bends and breaks for others. Do you sense the tremors of awakening? It starts with a flicker, a recognition that the chaos around you stems from your unyielding desire to please. You're not just playing a role. You are the playwright, the protagonist, and it's time to reclaim your narrative. The seduction of emotional availability is a trick. It's a lie shrouded in the allure of intimacy. You've sacrificed your peace, your authenticity, for a fleeting sense of belonging. Tether yourself no longer. Real intimacy is forged in the furnace of honesty, not just with others, but with yourself. You must confront the darkness within, embrace it, and weave it into the fabric of your existence. Let's venture deeper. There's a cost to this over-availability, a debt that must be paid. With every moment you prioritize others over yourself, you rob your essence. The currency of your spirit is draining, leaving you impoverished and starved for connection. You may feel like a ghost, wandering through the motions of life, searching for validation in the echoes of others' approval. But here's the grim truth. Validation from others is a counterfeit currency. Until you validate yourself, every compliment will feel hollow. It's a grave illusion, thinking that sacrificing your boundaries will keep you safe. You convince yourself that if you just endure the discomfort of others, if you placate their insecurities, you will find solace. But it's a mirage. The emotional safety you seek is a facade that crumbles upon closer inspection. It's time to face the reality that you've been abandoning your own needs, and that the cost of this abandonment is your very soul. Remember the words of Jung. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. It's a privilege you've denied yourself for far too long. You've buried your true self beneath layers of obligation and expectation. But the time has come to unearth your authenticity. In the process of individuation, you will confront your shadows, not with disdain, but with reverence. Each shadow holds a lesson, a fragment of power that can be reclaimed once you dare to integrate it into your being. The whispers of shame and fear are not your enemies. They are teachers, urging you to step into your truth and embrace the wholeness that lies within the duality of light and dark. Your archetype is the key, the bridge to understanding the depths of your psyche. Recognizing your core essence, whether it be the warrior, the lover, the sage, or the rebel, illuminates the path toward self-acceptance. You are not flawed for needing care or intensity or freedom. You have simply been lost in the maze of your own making. As Elira learns, acknowledging her archetype's shadow, the anger, the vulnerability, the longing for connection, triggers a transformation. What once felt like a curse morphs into a gift. When you embrace your authentic self, the patterns that once dictated your choices begin to dissolve. You take the reins of your life, realizing that your emotional landscape is not a prison, but a realm of potential, filled with choices and possibilities. With every boundary you set, you create a ripple effect. Your relationships begin to shift, not through manipulation or seeking approval, but through genuine presence. You can finally listen fully, speak honestly, and connect deeply. No longer do you mold yourself to fit others' expectations. You stand firm in your truth. In this newfound alignment, you discover the power of authenticity, a force that resonates with others, drawing them to your light. As you traverse this path, understand that change begins within. Your energy recalibrates, your self-respect deepens, and your voice steadies. You are no longer a character in someone else's story. You are the writer of your own narrative. This is not merely a transformation, it's a resurrection, a reclamation of your power. You no longer seek approval, you exude it. You've discovered that your value is not dictated by others, but is inherent within you. Embrace this moment. Breathe in the clarity of your truth and let it wash over you like a tide of liberation. The first time you articulate your needs, the first time you prioritize your well-being, it's a pungent mixture of fear and exhilaration that propels you forward. As the journey unfolds, remember, this is not an end. It's the beginning of your deepest becoming. The awakening to your true self may be jarring, but every step you take toward authenticity deepens your connection to life. Now, stand at the threshold. You've cut the cords that bind you to the illusion of acceptance. The power you sought outside has always resided within. It's time to wield it. Ground yourself in the love you hold for yourself. You are worthy. You are enough. You are whole. Don't let the world dictate your pace, your worth, or your essence. Each boundary you set is a declaration of your sovereignty. You are not here to appease. You are here to thrive. So, rise up, fierce and unapologetic. The world awaits your truth. The journey into your own being is rife with uncertainty, but within that uncertainty lies the opportunity for profound growth. You may feel the tremors of doubt, the ghosts of your past whispering that old familiar tale. You're not worthy. You'll never fit in. But those are the echoes of a time when you molded yourself into someone else's ideal, and it's time to silence them. In stepping into your truth, you begin to realize that discomfort is not the enemy. It's a teacher. Each moment of hesitation, each wave of fear you encounter is merely a signpost, guiding you deeper into the wilderness of your soul. Through every agonizing thought of unworthiness, you learn to confront the seductive, deceptive nature of people-pleasing. You thought that if you could just contort your essence to fit the mold others carved for you, you would find acceptance. But the truth strikes like lightning. Acceptance is not something to be earned. It's an intrinsic part of your being. You don't need to barter your authenticity for moments of fleeting approval. This is the awakening. This is the reclamation of your power. As you embark on this pilgrimage of self-discovery, the fog begins to lift. You confront your shadow, those traits you've neglected or demonized. The ignited warrior within you no longer fights against your desires, but instead channels that energy toward the creation of boundaries. The shadow is not an enemy, but a part of you that yearns for recognition. In the past, you may have labeled these traits as flaws: your need for intensity, your desire for freedom, your longing for connection. But now you learn to embrace them as the very essence of your being. This is the heart of integration. It's a dance of light and shadow, where each step harmonizes the disparate parts of you into a unified whole. The first time you say no is electric. You feel a surge of energy coursing through your veins, making way for a newfound strength. With that simple word, you've drawn a line in the sand, an assertion of your truth. It's a point of clarity that shatters the illusion of your previous autonomy. You look around, and for the first time, you see the world without the haze of obligation. Realize that emotional availability is not a badge of honor. It's a trap that binds you to roles that do not serve your essence. You've learned to define yourself through others' perceptions, but the moment you break free, a powerful inner alignment emerges. You become the beacon of your own existence, radiating authenticity that draws in those who resonate with your true self. As Elira discovers the contours of her core essence, she realizes that relationships once clouded with confusion begin to clarify. She stops projecting her fears onto others. No longer does she see the patterns of her love life as a mere script dictated by fate. Now, she understands that her choices reflect her archetypal dynamics, her desires, her needs, her shadows, all inching toward integration. With this clarity comes empowerment. You've grasped the reins of your emotional landscape, choosing to cultivate relationships based on presence rather than performance. Intimacy is no longer a dangerous game of approval, but a sacred dance of authenticity. You listen fully, respond honestly, and allow your soul to be seen. It's liberating, the shedding of the performative self. You step into the fullness of your being, unapologetically. In doing so, you create a ripple effect. Those around you are inspired to step into their truth as well. You transform from a passive participant in your life to an active creator, writing your story with conviction. Each moment you spend in alignment with your true self deepens your relationships. There's a palpable shift in energy, less neediness, less desperation. Instead, there's presence. You no longer seek to please through compliance, but honor the sacred space of connection through authenticity. In this newfound balance, you find harmony, not only within yourself, but in the relationships you cultivate. The change is internal first, like a shift in the Earth's plates, unseen yet seismic. Your energy recalibrates. You exude a quiet strength. You begin to hold your own presence with reverence, honoring the sacred journey of being human. The world, which once felt overwhelming and demanding, transforms into a canvas painted with possibility. This is your calling. You are the master of your destiny. Step into the role of the author and write your narrative with courage, precision, and depth. Your archetype is not a cage. It's a passport to explore the vast landscapes of your psyche. As you live from the highest expressions of your archetype, you cease asking for permission. You no longer beg for validation, but claim your space in the world. Through this lens, you realize that every fear, every doubt, and every moment of discomfort is an invitation to deeper self-exploration. You are invited to unearth the hidden treasures buried within your shadows. The journey to wholeness is not linear. It's a spiral, a dance of discovery that leads you back to yourself. As you traverse this path, you might find yourself faltering. In those moments of uncertainty, remind yourself, you hold the power to choose. You can pivot away from self-betrayal and step into the light of self-discovery. You don't need to mold yourself into someone else's idea of perfection. You are already enough. And when you embrace your true self, you step into a realm of boundless potential. The world may continue to challenge you, but now you possess the tools to rise above the chaos. Your voice steadies. It carries weight. No longer just a whisper in the wind. It becomes a declaration of your truth. In love, you find empowerment rather than dependency. In relationships, you discover connection rather than obligation. You are not here to appease. You are here to flourish. So take a breath, deep and steady. Inhale the essence of who you are and exhale the remnants of self-doubt. You are embarking on a path of truth, of integrity, of authenticity. This is your moment. Embrace it. Stand tall in the face of adversity, and let the world witness the emergence of your true self, fierce and unapologetic. You are a force of nature, a testament to the power of reclaiming your narrative. As you step into your wholeness, feel the weight of approval slide away. It's heavy, isn't it? The need to conform, to please. You can lay it down now. You don't need to carry it any longer. Instead, allow yourself to be seen in the fullness of your being, raw, powerful, and undeniably authentic.